Audrey West lived in the bright, bustling heart of Los Angeles, a city of dreams fueled by constant connection. As a marketing expert, her life revolved around screens, a never-ending stream of emails, social media updates, and campaign strategies. Her best friend, Chris Morgan, a kind and thoughtful soul, often worried about her. "Audrey," he'd say, his voice soft with concern, "you're always plugged in. Don't you ever just breathe?" Audrey's boss, Diana Powell, a sharp but fair woman, admired Audrey's dedication but also noticed the growing tension in her. Diana gently suggested a sabbatical, a chance to recharge. One day, fueled by a yearning for something more, Audrey decided to take on a challenge, a 30-day digital detox. No phone, no laptop, no constant connection to the digital world. The first few days were the hardest. Audrey felt lost, adrift without the familiar hum of notifications. Her fingers twitched, longing for the comforting glow of her phone. She started taking long walks in Griffith Park, breathing in the fresh air, listening to the rustle of leaves, feeling the sun on her skin. It was a world she had almost forgotten existed. Audrey rediscovered her love for painting. The vibrant colors, the feel of the brush in her hand. It was a welcome sensory experience that screens had dulled. Chris would visit, bringing books and sharing stories, their conversations deeper and more meaningful than any text exchange. Audrey began to notice the little things, the way the light filtered through the trees, the laughter of children playing in the park, the kindness in a stranger's smile. At work, Diana noticed a shift in Audrey's subsequent marketing campaigns. The creative ideas were deeper, more authentic, resonating with real human emotions. Audrey's colleagues remarked on her newfound sense of calm and focus. She listened more intently, spoke with greater clarity, and collaborated with genuine enthusiasm. Slowly, Audrey learned that true connection wasn't about being constantly online, but about being present, fully engaged in the world around her. She found joy in simple things, like cooking a meal with fresh ingredients from the farmer's market, reading a physical book in the quiet of her apartment, or having a heartfelt conversation with Chris. The digital detox wasn't just about disconnecting from technology. It was about reconnecting with herself, with her passions, and with the people she cared about. Audrey realized that her constant connection had become a shield, protecting her from vulnerability and preventing her from truly experiencing life. The 30 days passed quickly. When Audrey cautiously re-entered the digital world, she did so with intention, setting boundaries and prioritizing real-world experiences. Her career flourished. Her relationships deepened. She had discovered the power of presence, the beauty of simplicity, and the importance of balance. Audrey's story reminds us that in a world obsessed with connection, sometimes the most meaningful connection is the one we have with ourselves. Remember to find moments of quiet, moments to disconnect, moments to simply be present. The world unfolds in beautiful ways when we truly open our eyes to it. Just as Audrey found her way back to herself, you too can rediscover the joy and wonder that exists beyond the screen. And finally, cherish the people around you. Nurture real-world connections and remember that true happiness lies not in the digital realm, but in the beauty of the here and now. Sleep well. Audrey West, a marketing expert in the bright, bustling city of Los Angeles, lived and breathed the digital world. Her fingers danced across keyboards, her eyes glued to screens, crafting campaigns that captivated millions. But somewhere along the way, the sparkle in her eyes began to fade, replaced by the pale glow of her laptop. Her best friend, Chris Morgan, noticed it first. "Audrey," he'd say, his voice soft with concern, "you look like you haven't seen the sun in weeks. You're always plugged in." Audrey would just smile faintly, another notification pulling her attention away. Even Diana Powell, Audrey's usually demanding boss, saw the change. Audrey's innovative spark, once so vibrant, was now flickering dimly. "Audrey," Diana said gently, "take some time. Recharge. Your best work comes from a clear mind." One evening, staring at yet another blinking cursor, Audrey had an idea, a whisper in the quiet of her mind. A digital detox. 30 days. No social media, no emails, no constant stream of information. Just silence. The first few days were a struggle. Her fingers twitched, reaching for her phone. Phantom vibrations buzzed in her pocket. She felt lost, adrift in a sea of quiet. Chris, bless his heart, brought over board games and books. They spent hours laughing, talking, truly connecting without the distraction of screens. Audrey remembered what it felt like to simply be present. She started taking walks in the nearby park, listening to the birdsong, noticing the gentle sway of the trees. Colors seemed brighter, the air smelled fresher. One afternoon she stumbled upon a pottery class. The feel of cool, wet clay in her hands was grounding, meditative. She rediscovered the joy of creating something tangible, something real. Slowly, a new kind of creativity began to blossom within her. Ideas bubbled up, not from trending hashtags or viral videos, but from the quiet spaces within her own mind. When she returned to work, Diana was amazed. Audrey's ideas were fresh, insightful, and full of genuine passion. They weren't just marketing strategies, they were stories, connections, human experiences. Audrey's relationships deepened too. She spent more time with Chris, truly listening to his dreams and fears. She called her parents more often, hearing the warmth in their voices without the interruption of notifications. The world hadn't stopped while she was offline. It had simply become richer, more vibrant. She learned that true connection wasn't about likes and shares, but about presence and authenticity. Her boss, Diana, noticed the shift. "Audrey, you're glowing. I see the old spark again, only brighter now." Audrey smiled, a genuine, radiant smile. The digital world was still there, waiting, but Audrey approached it with a newfound awareness. She set boundaries, mindful of her time and energy. She realized that technology was a tool, not a master. It could enhance her life, but it shouldn't define it. She began to filter her digital input carefully, choosing content that inspired and uplifted her, rather than draining and distracting her. And she continued to nurture her real-world relationships, prioritizing face-to-face conversations and shared experiences. She learned to appreciate the quiet moments, the spaces between the noise, where true inspiration resides. Now, when faced with a challenge, Audrey closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and remembers the peace she found during her digital detox. She remembers the feel of the cool clay, the sound of birdsong, the warmth of human connection. And she knows that even in the midst of a busy world, she can always find her way back to the quiet center within herself. So, dear friend, remember Audrey's journey. In our own lives, we can learn to balance the digital and the real, the virtual and the tangible. Let's strive to be present, to connect deeply, and to nurture the spark within us, allowing it to shine brightly in the world. For within each of us lies a wellspring of creativity, resilience, and joy, waiting to be discovered, waiting to be shared.